What is something that everyone praises but is actually horrible? Soldiering on through a cold and getting everyone else sick in the process. Not super horrible but bad overall. Your natural talent when you've practiced really hard at something, especially as a kid. This encourages you to just think people are born with their skills and discourages you from practicing things you're not good at. Sacrificing for your job. Maybe you're lucky, maybe your job fills you with joy and a sense of accomplishment, but for most people, a job is a price you pay to live comfortably. There's nothing noble or heroic about sacrificing personal relationships, happiness or free time for an employer. Perfect attendance, at work or school. Please stay home if you are sick. Not taking time off. In the USA it's shameful how many companies do not offer employees vacation time or adequate time off. No one, and I mean no one, should work 6-7 days a week for 8 hours a day or more and be expected to keep that pace for 52 weeks out of the year. 1 week unpaid vacation is not enough time to get a real break from work. It's absolutely awful how people are treated here. I'm starting my own business. No, you're not, Karen. You are trying to sign up your friends for a pyramid scheme. Working extra time as a teacher just to get your work done because you're doing it for the kids. We all know it's not extra. It's just time you refuse to pay us for. I learned really quick that any test or quiz given meant a lost and paid evening of work to grade them. Being busy and stressed at work. Sometimes it felt as though this is seen as a sign of being successful, yet it is quite horrible. The funny thing is I work hard and do good at my job, but I also make a huge effort not to be stressed out and miserable. I try my best to be relaxed, cheerful, and upbeat, but because of this everyone seems to think I'm lazy, or they are just annoyed. Be miserable like us, dang it. Those videos of people giving to the homeless. They exploit a random person on the street for likes and comments and then have the cheek to guilt trip people who don't give money to a homeless person on the street. If you really want to help, donate to a local charity and don't show off. I'm in Thailand. We are in the middle of a 2-day celebration where they release thousands of floating lanterns in the sky. Wonderfully beautiful and brings people together. But over the next couple of days the bare bones of these lanterns, wire, will end up polluting the countryside, local rivers, and even end up in the stomachs of livestock. The only ones I've ever used were biodegradable. Hopefully that's the case here. Having children despite your inability to actually be able to currently take care of them. Not sleeping, staying up late. IDK what middle school me was thinking. Kids who are quiet and seen as more mature. I was always praised as being so well behaved but didn't develop people skills or the ability to speak for myself until much later because of it. Even now, at 23, I'm still playing catch up and learning to find my voice. Working all the time and not getting enough sleep. I'm constantly saying how we underestimate sleep in this society. We call people lazy for wanting to sleep in and demand early starts out of everyone. No wonder we're all exhausted. People who boast that they have never taken a sick day off in X years, but it's not because they never get ill, but because they still come in when they are, likely spreading it through the office. Kids doing hours of homework each night. People who work instead of take care of themselves, mentally or physically. It's actually a huge problem in Japan. Expensive, larger than necessary weddings receptions. Believe it or not, spending $50 plus per plate of food on 100 plus guests, many of which may not even be close family friends, is just entirely superfluous and unnecessary. Nobody is going to remember what the overpriced flower arrangements looked like or how the smoked tilapia tasted. It should be a joyous occasion to celebrate with those that matter most. Instead, it's often a bucket of stress and financial gymnastics. The best wedding I've ever been to was in my sister's backyard, followed by live music and a carne asada truck for catering food. I'll remember sitting around a fire pit shooting the crap with my uncles and cousins for years to come. Conversely, I'll also remember watching my parents stress over helping one of my other sisters front some of the expenses for her huge wedding over a 12-month span. I got lucky. My fiancé rather spend $30k on a trip to other countries than a 12-hour wedding. Friends that encourage cheating or lying in a relationship. Yeah girl, do you? You're not happy, so who cares if you sleep with other people? Maybe he'll be better for you and you won't have to be single when you break up with so and so. I dumped a couple friends who, among other sins, such as proudly cheating on their perfectly good boyfriends, repeatedly encouraged me to upgrade from my husband. Yeah, he's a nice guy, he loves you, blah blah. He's 5 feet 4 inches, though, that kind of talk will get you straight out the door. Shallow jerks. People have a tendency to praise their own belief tri-party lifestyle without taking a step back and giving consideration to new ideas. No, we don't, how dare you. News, celebrity news or any of that crap. People obsess the same exact way online when it's a YouTuber or other internet celebrity. Black Friday shopping. Sure, the deals can be great, but with everybody running around screaming and shoving their ways in and out of outlet stores, not worth it. I'll go with saving the most money here by staying home. Beats audio. Here's the rule with Beats. What you would spend on a pair of Beats, $200 for example, will get you better quality headphones from almost every other brand, no matter what kind of music you listen to. There are better headphones for rap that don't cost nearly as much. Celebrities. I want to preface by saying that I don't think it's completely horrible, but I don't agree with the degree to which American society holds its celebrities, whether it be movie, sports, or musical artists. In every outlet, the amount of focus on them is too much, and the amount of influence they have over people's viewpoints, while not necessarily having the credibility, is absurd. Just because they're famous, rich, and beautiful doesn't make them an authority on everything. The fact that a B-list celebrity like Jenny McCarthy had enough influence to help push forward the anti-vax movement dumbfounds me. The fact that the Kardashian family would be considered some of the strongest influencers in the media today is ridiculous. It's not just American society. Source: I'm an American in Norway, flabbergasted as to why Norwegians love the goddamn Kardashians so much. Expecting college students to go into massive debt or pay everything on their own without any help or support from their family, even if it means never coming home to visit their family. Frick that. I want my legacy, i.e. my kids, to start with a clean slate, which is why I'm willing to pay for their education, and they're more than welcome to live rent-free at home the first couple of years after school. I'm their dad. This is what I'm here for. I want my children to be successful. I feel like I'll fail as a father if I don't do my best to help them achieve that. Overly public marriage proposals. Prom proposals. While it isn't inherently bad, a FICO score, people tend to think that their score is an indicator of good personal finances when really it isn't. I used to instruct a personal finance class and I had students who would brag about their FICO score like it's something to be proud of while simultaneously making some of the worst financial decisions I've ever encountered. Giving people pets as a gift. It sounds like such a nice gesture, especially if that person just lost a pet, but you are just forcing this huge responsibility on someone and it could be something they didn't want at all. Oh, here's a bird. It's going to live 80 years and bond only with you. Designer dogs. They're freaking nuts. You don't need to pay $2,500 for it. Go down to your local humane society and rescue something. You'll get the same thing already fixed, with full vaccinations, and likely microchipped. War. Some people praise or talk about it like it's amazing rather than heck for all involved. It's just that these people have never participated. Being fat and people telling you to love yourself for who you are, that kind of stuff. I'm obese and it freaking sucks. There's nothing good about it. It's the main reason for so many of my insecurities. I'm trying to finally get in shape now and I want nothing more than to reach my goal. Thank you everyone for all the kind words of encouragement. I'm not gonna stop. Having communities like our low seat helps so much. I won't disappoint. Being pregnant is hard. There are so many aches and pains. It changes your body permanently, and sometimes it can dang near, and sometimes does, kill you. Everyone portrays it as this beautiful, magical time where you are glowing and healthy and fabulous, but the truth is that it's a major drain on your body both physically and mentally. Smoking marijuana, like, the act of doing it, not the marijuana itself. Yeah, you can be the stoner dude, but if your whole personality is the use of drugs then you're not really that interesting. Ugh, this used to be me. In retrospect, it's so freaking cringe. And I really freaking hated not being stoned. Obviously a problem, and whenever anyone pointed it out, oh, it's just weed. Getting very drunk. Slightly drunk can be very pleasant, but when it gets to the stage of feeling sick, it is horrible. It's strange how many people seem to hold up getting that drunk as the aim of a night out. Not reading the actual AskReddit question and just responding with things you don't like. Excessive alcohol consumption. Craft beers are a neat little hobby, and mom needs her wine to chill out. The pressure to drink is always there, in ads, social groups, etc. I usually try not to drink at all unless that's my plans for the whole evening. IDKY, but I can never do the casual 1-3 drinks. I mean, I could if I was going to a formal event or something like that, but when people just have beers regularly or order a few drinks at dinner or a nightcap, I could never get into drinking like that. Mark Wahlberg. Thought I'd mention it because a video with him is trending on YouTube at the moment. Yeah, it was a long time ago, but I can't believe a guy who has committed such crimes can go have great career and be universally praised. In June 1986, Wahlberg and 3 friends chased after 3 African American children while yelling "Kill the N, kill the N" and throwing rocks at them. The next day, Wahlberg and others followed a group of schoolchildren taking a field trip on a beach, yelled racial epithets at them, threw rocks at them and summoned other white males who joined in the harassment. In April 1988, Wahlberg approached a middle-aged Vietnamese man named Tan Lam on the street and, using a large wooden stick, bashed him over the head until he was knocked unconscious while calling him a Vietnam freaking crap. That same day, Wahlberg also attacked a second Vietnamese man named Hoa Johnny Trin, punching him in the eye without provocation. According to court documents regarding these crimes, when Wahlberg was arrested later that night and returned to the scene of the first assault, he stated to police officers, "You don't have to let him identify me. I'll tell you now, that's the mother sucker whose head I split open." Investigators also noted that Wahlberg made numerous unsolicited racial statements about gooks and slant-eyed gooks. In August 1992, a then 21-year-old Wahlberg fractured the jaw of a neighbor in an unprovoked attack. Court documents state that in 1992, Wahlberg, without provocation or cause, viciously and repeatedly kicked a man named Robert D. Crean in the face and jaw while another man named Derek McCall held Crean down on the ground. Likewise for Chris Brown. Cheating. Why the frick does this crap get romanticized and or glorified? It destroys lives and families. If you do this, you are 100% a piece of crap. Break up with the person instead of being a horrible piece of crap. Instagram. I don't care what you ate at Luby's. The idea that the only way to be successful in a career is to go to university and incur massive debt that can take you decades to pay off. Black Friday. Agreed. Boy, I sure love being a lowly retail slave and being yelled at by every person in my city individually because we ran out of a popular bestseller within the first hour of opening. To all those participating in Black Friday, please remember that we employees are people too. Being so busy. Being busy has become glorified as some kind of virtue. It's ridiculous. I've been part of group conversations with other moms in my kids' classes all trying to outdo each other with all the busy. And then they look at me like, "So what are all your kids' activities and lessons and clubs and groups?" None. They are 4 and 6. They go to school. They play outside. They do their homework. We eat supper together at the table and they are in bed by 7 PM every night. On weekends we go out as a family to museums or nature parks. They often have birthday parties to attend, and that's as much busy as I'm willing to have in my life. I can't imagine spending hours driving to and participating in activities or lessons several evenings a week and getting them to bed at 8:30 or 9 o'clock at night. When they are much older, they'll be able to choose one activity, lesson or sport they'd like to do for 2 terms or the full school year. Being so busy is not a virtue. It doesn't make you a better person. You aren't winning. Instead, you're missing out on the quiet moments where your kids share things they're thinking about. You're depriving your kids of the fun of being bored but then coming up with something truly inventive to do. Conversely, people with simple schedules who refuse to overcommit themselves are not lazy or losers. Stop the glorification of busy. Proposing in public, especially with huge attention-seeking gestures. There is immense pressure on the person to say yes. If they want to say no, it's extremely difficult. Steve Jobs. I'm reading his autobiography and he was a dong to everyone. High school a million times over. I still talk to my high school friends. I wish I could go back. Best 4 years of my life. We, mom, had very different high school experiences. Best thing about aging is the increasing distance between me and high school. People who stay behind in wildfire evacuations. They're putting their life at risk for a very stupid reason, and this is one of the reasons so many people die in wildfires. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.